Speak like you are sitting across from one of your best friends who trusts you. Because if it feels human, it is good marketing. And we all want that human relationship. And especially more so now that AI is coming out, because a lot of people are getting away from that. They're going straight to a script that there's no thought behind it. There's no stories behind it. If I'm telling somebody how to do something and they're like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to break this. It's like, oh my God, let me tell you about the time I broke mine.
Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Roger Wakefield. If you don't know who Roger is, he is known online as the expert plumber. He took decades of experience owning a plumbing business in Texas and built it into a massive online following across YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. His podcast is The Trade Talks Live. His forthcoming book is Blue Clarity. He's also the founder of SponsorKit.pro. Roger, welcome to the show for the first time.
Michael, thank you for having me. I am so excited about this.
I'm excited about it as well. Roger and I have known each other for years. Today, Roger and I are going to explore how to position yourself as a video influencer that people love and that grows your business. So before we get into that, Roger, I would love to hear your story. How in the world did you get into video? Start wherever you want to start.
Well, I didn't get into video to be famous. I got in to make a difference. I wanted people to see that tradespeople care as much about people as they do about pipes or whatever it is they're working on. And video let me tell that story. I walked into your conference in 2018 at the age of 54. So I walk in to learn more about Facebook, because when you're 54 years old, that's what social media is. And at the time, and I look back and I tell people, I literally found out about your conference 2 weeks beforehand because I had marketing companies that I felt like have been ripping me off for years. And I explained it to people like driving down the road, open your window and throw $47,000 cash out the window and know that when you get to your office, your phones are not going to be ringing. And that's exactly what it felt like, because I had spent that much money and we had it all documented. And literally the last person that we had hired, they made our phone quit ringing. I was at a trades conference and my phone went off and I answered and it was my CSR. And she said, Roger, just going to let you know, look, the phones aren't ringing. I said, I know. Thank you. I appreciate you turning mine off, because we had it where it would ring to multiple people. And she says, no, the phones at the office are not ringing. Now, I reached out to the marketing company that had done the latest thing for me. And the guy goes to me. He wouldn't answer my calls. He wouldn't answer my texts, nothing. So I called one of the guys that had done it before and asked him to please put my old site back up. But I knew then that I needed to do something on my own. I needed to learn how to do social media. And doing research, I came across an interview with you on Founder Magazine, Nathan Chan. And I'm watching this podcast while I'm on the treadmill one morning. And it's not like it's a video podcast. It's just the album cover or magazine cover. And you see the little scrollers go by. But I'm watching this and listening to you. And whenever I heard you talk about your conference and how people can come in and learn to do social media, I'm telling myself, this is where I need to be. Now, a couple of weeks before the conference, there's no cheap tickets. They're not discounted at that point. And I'm like, you know what? I have to be there. So that's exactly what I did. And I'll tell you how broke I was at the time, Michael. I stayed at like a Days Inn way down the road and did the shared Uber because it's a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And ended up in the car with somebody who's headed to TNC, which was right next door. And then it's funny because one of the first people that I heard speak at your event, they were doing a workshop, and it was Pete Vargas, and he had ran from TNC because he had just finished on stage over there, and he comes running in over here. And I'm one of these front row learners. I'm sitting right down front. And he looks around. He's like, how long am I talking in here today? It's like, well, I think you've got 90 minutes. So he's like, okay, we're good. And it was fantastic. Well, then the next day, I was walking down the corridor. I'm looking out over San Diego, the ocean, the water, and all that to my right. And I looked over at a placard that said something like, get in front of your customers using video. And I know that wasn't exactly it because I've looked it up many times. And I go in and I sit on the front row. And you had a speaker named Daryl Eves. And Daryl walks out and he starts talking for a second. And then he says something that it was like it hit me in the head with the 2x4. And he said, YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And I thought at the time, I said, this guy doesn't know anything. YouTube is just where I store my videos. And I shut my notebook and I put my hand on the chair next to me. I'm fixing to raise up and I look around behind me and people are standing along the back wall. And I look back up just in time to hear him say, and it's owned by Google, the largest search engine in the world. And I thought, why aren't we sending money to YouTube like we are Google? Little did I know that just a few years later, Google would be sending me money because of what I do on YouTube. And I learned all this real quick. So I had to leave that conference Friday because I had a radio show in Dallas on Saturday morning. And I climb on a plane and there's nobody next to me. So I've got both tray tables folded down and I'm trying to come up with an implementation plan. What do I do? And I had to decide, do I check out Pete Vargas and learn more about speaking? Do I check out Daryl Eves and learn more about YouTube? And by the time Saturday and Sunday were gone, which I was at the office all weekend going through every note that I had, I decided we were going to start YouTube Monday morning.
And what happened?
We started doing research, figuring it out. And that's exactly what we did. 1 month later, we started posting 3 videos a week on YouTube. And it's been crazy.
Fast forward to where are you now with YouTube?
I tell people I own YouTube. I literally, anybody in the world can go to YouTube and search the word plumbing and scroll down, look for the mustache, but keep scrolling. Don't just click on that first video. I am almost always the very first channel recommended. And most of the time, like everybody says, look, Google's got 10 listings on the first page. That's where you want to be. YouTube shows 20 videos. Normally, I've got 6 to 12 of the first 20 videos that are listed. And it's amazing. I love what I have learned and what I've grown into.
Okay, so you flying home from social media marketing world, you're taking lots of copious notes. You decide to go back and you decide to take this YouTube thing very seriously. You're ranking on YouTube, but tell us a little bit of the rest of the story. Like, what did it unlock for your business? Because obviously you've had a lot, I don't know, I'm guessing millions of views, probably tens of millions of views, right? By this point?
We're almost at 150 million views.
So what did it do for your business? That's fascinating.
I love it because Michael, I go to conferences. I go to social media conferences. Every time I walk in sessions about YouTube, I always look up who's speaking. What are they talking about? Most of them have 40 million views, 50 million views. Very seldom do I find anybody with over 100 million. And we're approaching 150 million views right now.
So what did it do for your business?
My business blew up, which was great. That's what we got into it for. But at the same time, I started blowing up on social media, particularly YouTube. But we had also started doing TikTok and Instagram and everything else. My business grew so big that my wife at the time was running it. My CSR was helping her manage it. I had a good service manager and I kept focusing on social media and we just kept growing. And it got to the point I had to make a decision. Do I want to get more into the plumbing company and help it grow? Or do I want to get bigger on social media and keep doing what I'm doing? And I realized that on social media, I was able to help so many more people. And to me, at the end of the day, that's what a good residential service company does. You learn to take care of the people. And if you do that, everything else is going to come along naturally. But it helped me grow that business, scaled that business, and then eventually sold that business. And believe it or not, I sold that business 3 times. So it wasn't too bad.
Awesome. And you've gone on to speak at different trade organizations representing tradespeople, right? I mean, this is what's cool about your story is this is an extremely niche. I mean, everybody needs plumbers and everybody needs plumbing, but this is a very niche category. And like, what kind of other doors has it opened for you in the last year or so?
Oh, well, in the last year, I've been on Dr. Phil. I've been on the Today Show. I've been on, News Nation with Chris Cuomo. I get, and this is me getting invited I mean, literally, I remember getting an email one day that says, "Hey, love to see if you'd like to be on the Dr. Phil show." And I'm like, yeah. And you look at the email address, it's like, wait, this is real. So you reply back, it's like, well, what do y'all want me on the Dr. Phil show for? It's like, well, we have an attorney and some TikTokers that say, don't get into the trades. It's not a good decision. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm all over that. So it was a great show to be on. It was great to meet Dr. Phil and his wife. But the neat thing about it is I've had so many people recognize me from being on Dr. Phil or being on YouTube that it's kind of wild.
Very cool. Okay. So for anybody who is listening right now, maybe they're a business owner like yourself, or maybe they are, they've got something that they're an expert in, like they're influential in their practice or their trade, but they have not gone to the point where they want to, or maybe felt like they could create video. What's the upside? Like, let's now speak to anyone listening right now, because obviously they have a choice, just like you have a choice. They're probably exploring all sorts of options, just like you were when you were at Social Media Marketing World. Do I do this? Do I do that? Do I do Facebook ads? Do I start my own video content? Like, what's the big upside to creating online video?
Well, look, marketing isn't about selling. It's about serving. And there's no better way to show your heart, your value, and your purpose than with video. I talk all the time about people raising their children. You wouldn't take your child and just give it to somebody and say, here, raise it. I'll come back when you're done. Instead, take that into your own hands. Okay. Take your business into your own hands. I was literally giving my business to marketing companies, hoping they're going to do the right thing and not knowing enough about it to know if they really are. I talk a lot about know, like, and trust. And that's a big phrase in it, and it's always is, and every speaker uses it, but I see it different. It's know, love, trust, and connected to. And what YouTube does is YouTube connects you with people. I've had people come up to me at trades conferences, at social media conferences, at entrepreneurship conferences. I speak at all kinds of different conferences, but I have people come up to me and they don't just come up and say, oh, hi, you're Roger. They come up and hug you. They're like, oh my God, I love you. And it's like, well, what do you mean? It's like, man, I watch your videos. You help me do this. You help me do this. And if we look at video as an introduction to people, after people have watched 3 or 4 of your videos, 4 or 5 or 10 or 20, they're connected to you. They know you. It's just like watching a TV show. You build relationships with these characters. But the great thing about social media and social media video is we have the ability to communicate with those people. When people come in and leave comments in your videos, you go in and leave comments back to them. And one thing you don't do is you don't just say, oh, gee, thank you. I'm glad you like my video. Keep the conversation open. If they tell you they love your video, say, oh my gosh, thank you so much. I had so much fun making this. What was your favorite part about this video? Now you're engaging with them and now you're having a conversation. A lot of people that want to make videos treat it like TV. I'm just going to make a show and people can watch it. We have the ability to connect with these people and build relationships. And to me, that's what video has done. And using it through social media, it really does. It lets you connect to a whole new group of people. And to me, it's just been phenomenal.
Awesome. Love that. Okay, so we're going to dig into some of the practical, tactical stuff now, because I'm sure there's plenty of people that are interested in possibly doing what you've done. Let's explore the kinds of video you create, because you've been doing this for a while now. How many videos do you feel like you've done just on YouTube alone? Hundreds, obviously, right?
2,000.
2,000? Okay.
Yes,
so you've done a lot. So let's talk about the different kinds of video that you create, so that we can kind of give people like an understanding in their mind of the possibilities.
Okay. The great thing is every video I make is built to serve. How-tos to solve problems, reviews to guide decisions, business tips to help people grow. But they all come from one place: authenticity and caring. I love people. I love helping people. And when I'm making videos like that, I always think of who is this video for? Is it for the plumber? Is it for the homeowner? Is it for the DIYer? We create content for our audience, not for us. And when I learned about that, know who your audience is, know the psychographic of your audience, learn to get in and communicate with them. And when I'm doing something, say I'm teaching somebody to solder, I look up and say, hey, if you're a plumber and you do this different than me, do me a favor, leave me a comment down here below and let me know what you think you do different that may be better for somebody to help them learn a completely different way. And in the beginning, it was great because I knew that I wanted to serve customers and I thought of them as plumbing customers. So I started out making videos for homeowners. They watch, they learn, but then they leave. Now, most homeowners aren't going to subscribe to a channel where they just got on to watch a video to learn how to fix their plumbing. And don't get me wrong, that's probably where the majority of my views come from. And we got very good in the beginning. One of my first YouTube coaches was Jeremy Vest, and he taught me about virality. How do you make videos that, man, it's going to explode. People are going to watch them. You have fun doing it. You do crazy stuff. And that was great. But I noticed, Jeremy, we're not growing that much. And we started looking at it and we realized that if we would make more evergreen content, that was the game changer. And now we do a little bit of both. In the beginning, I made my videos to help homeowners fix their plumbing. One of the first videos that we did is how to fix a running toilet guaranteed. And I've got on an orange shirt, I've got on my green gloves, and I'm standing next to a toilet where we've cut the back out of the tank. And it was wonderful. But Will came in, and you've met Will before, my stepson. He was my first videographer. He came into the studio or came into my office that day that we had posted it. We shot it that morning, and he walked in and he said, look, I got to tell you, he said, this video was not good. I said, oh no, why not? He said, well, he said, Roger, you just got in there and you went through step by step how to fix the problem, no matter which problem it is. And I said, okay. I said, well, I got a question. Do we have any other videos shot that we could post instead of that? He said, no, we didn't have any. That's why we had to shoot this one this morning, but it's already up. And I'm like, okay, look, let's make sure now that we've always got extra video shot, and let's always have videos in the vault. And if you ever think we do a bad video like this again, let's don't post it. And he said, okay. Michael, that was about 7 years ago. That video's probably at about 5.5 million views. It's my number one watched video.
So what is it about that video that he didn't think was good, but in hindsight, you realize is very good?
It's what I did. I went step by step how to fix it. Turn off the water, disconnect this, drain this down. And I didn't stop and tell a lot of stories. But what makes it work is, think about this, Michael. If you've got a toilet running, you don't want to hear my stories.
Right.
You want to hear step by step, how do I fix it?
Right.
We used to have a saying that all our videos would be 8 or 10 minutes long, depending on when they changed the mid-roll ads. This one was like 10 or 15 seconds, under 8 minutes. And he said, I don't have anything else to put in there. I'm like, Will, you're fine. Just put it up. It being the most popular video, I wish it had been over 8 minutes, but it is direct and to the point. And I've had people jump in and say, oh my gosh, you told me how to fix my toilet. You just saved me, $300, $500, whatever the plumber was going to charge them. And we started out with content like that, and it was great. But now we're teaching content for tradespeople, but also I tied into the homeowners and DIYers when I talk like tools or product knowledge or something like that. And the reason being is the plumbers and a lot of tradespeople will subscribe to the channel. They'll leave comments. They'll like the videos. The DIYers and homeowners, they're still, hey, just show me how to do this, which is fine. So now in the beginning of the video, I explained to the plumbers, look, this video is for you. But oh, by the way, if you're a DIYer or a homeowner, this is why you should pay particular attention to this part, because this may be something that you don't even know. So now we've got multiple buckets where we literally We know who we're making videos for. We know what the purpose of the video is for. Is it to get people to subscribe? Is it to get people to comment? And is it to get people to share? A lot of times we'll say, look, if you know somebody that's thinking about getting into the trades, please share this video with them. It could change their future. But we do Real Plumber Reacts, which is amazing. That is one, I think we could probably make a video like that every week and it would do really, really good because there's a lot of crazy things out there that people are doing. And the more that I do videos like that, the more fun I have.
Explain what that is for people that don't know what that means.
Well, say that you fixed a toilet and you videoed yourself. You're like, look, man, I fixed this toilet by myself. And I watched the video. I'm like, yeah, but Michael, you installed it backwards. The front of the toilet's not supposed to be facing the wall.
Oh, so you're taking someone else's video and then
Yes,
you're
indeed.
commenting over the top of it.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, so how does that work?
It works out great. I mean, you see so many people that make mistakes doing plumbing, but then there's a lot of really good people out there doing things, and I'll review their channels too. There's a guy out of Canada. He's got almost 4 million subscribers, and he made a video about, look, plumbers don't want me to tell you this, but I'm going to show you how to install a toilet. And I went through and watched it. I said, I'd have done this different and this different, but man, Jeff did a great job. And he did it right. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. So the Real Plumber Reacts, that's what anybody loves seeing that. Because they're like, okay, somebody's going to do something stupid and this guy's going to laugh and this is going to be funny.
Okay, so real quick, let me just summarize because you've covered a lot of ground here. First of all, you definitely do these how-to videos where it's very structured. Here's how to do this thing, right? And then you also do reviews, which I believe you mentioned, right? Where you'll take a product and you'll explain it maybe up against another product. For example, PEX versus copper piping, which is something I recently saw on your channel.
Product reviews are great because we talk cheapest versus most expensive, or hey, I bought the cheapest tool on TikTok.
Right. And then you've also got reaction videos, which you just talked about, which is like, here's a video, here's me playing a portion of it and reacting to it. And then you also mentioned business tips. I'm assuming that's for tradespeople. Is that right? Because did I hear you say that right or no?
I want to say, yes, I make the video for tradespeople, but whenever I read my comments and I'll have a chiropractor saying, oh my gosh, I love this video. You helped me so much. I'm like, what'd you do? Did you fix something? He said, oh, no. But I take out the word plumber and put in chiropractor, and you make me think about running a better business.
I see. So you talk about the craft of just running a business.
Absolutely.
But you tell it through the lens of the plumbing lens, right?
Of a plumber. Yeah.
So, okay. How do you decide how to mix all these together? Like, do you have like you said you publish, how many videos are you publishing a week now?
Right now we're doing 2 long form videos. We'll cut shorts out of those, or sometimes I'll just come in and we'll shoot a bunch of shorts.
Do you have a formula as far as like every week you're going to do like one how-to and one reaction, or is it vary, or how does it work?
We've got a 13-week formula with 26 different videos, and we have spent a lot of time building it out and putting it together. And it's good because in the last probably, I'm going to say 6 months, our video views have gone to about 1.5 million a month to 2.5 million a month.
That's crazy. Now, how do you decide, a lot of people listening, especially in evergreen industry like plumbing, a lot of people are like, you're going to run out of topics, but you don't. So you have any tips on how you decide to come up with new things to talk about?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, AI rocks for this because you can get in, you can talk to Google, you can talk to chat, you can talk to a closed AI if you don't want anybody to know what you're talking about. But the great thing is we know our buckets. And anytime that we look at our buckets, we look at where are we at? What is it that we've done well? We don't just look at our buckets, but we go in, we analyze, and we adjust. Every 13 weeks, we'll pull this formula up again, and we'll start plugging and playing. So we know if we're doing, cheap versus expensive, good versus bad. I bought the most expensive toilet on Amazon. Whatever it is, we look at them, we look at how they do. Well, then during the next 13 weeks, it may be, okay, what if I bought the cheapest toilet on Amazon? We bought an Amazon recommended kitchen faucet the other day. I think we paid $49 for it. And I installed it in my kitchen here in my office, and it's not a bad faucet. Me as a professional plumber, it felt a little light. There's not enough brass in it, too much plastic. But for $49, it's a very good kitchen faucet. So I'm like, hey guys, at the end of the day, I couldn't find anything wrong with this. But if that video would have tanked, we'd have been like, okay, what could we do instead of this? Maybe it's not buying the cheapest one. Maybe it's buying the most expensive one. There's all kinds of different ideas that can come from AI. And I mean, think about it, Michael, you know more about AI than most anybody. You can tell AI, this is the formula we want. These are the buckets that we use. And here's the videos that we did this 13 weeks, which would be 26 videos. Give me videos for the next 13 weeks. This video did good. This one did bad. This one did good. This one did great. And whatever it is, you can plug that in. Use AI to communicate with. I don't like AI to write every single word that I say. A lot of times I'll have it script something out, then I'll go in, tweak it, modify it, add to it. But what I like about AI is AI can say, well, look, there was another video made by another person and it was really good, but they didn't mention this point, and this point. And if you did that, that could be amazing.
Awesome. Okay. Now I want to talk about the actual craft of recording video. For those that are not watching this, Roger is in kind of what looks like a studio that he built. He's got a big display behind him. He's got a couple of footballs, and he's got his 100,000 YouTube plaque behind him. And he's got what looks like almost like a radio setup. He's got a big microphone coming up, and he's standing. So, Roger, I would imagine in the beginning, I know for a fact in the beginning it was completely different. So what I remember, you had like a vinyl thing behind you that just had the name of your business, right?
Yes,
so
sir.
Just give us some tips on actually creating a video that is engaging for people to watch, because you can know your stuff, but it doesn't mean people are going to watch it, right?
And you worded it right. You can know everything about what you do. I could be the greatest plumber in the world, but if I didn't communicate well, if I didn't do certain things, and there's three big things that I love to teach people about. And if anybody's listening right now or watching right now and like, you know what? I wish I could make video, but I can't. Guys, remember, I'm Roger Wakefield. I'm just a plumber. And I learned how to do this. And one thing that I talk about a lot is you can learn your way up out of any situation. If your business isn't going good, learn social media. You can make your business do good. But the three big tips, Michael, that I love to talk to people about are, number one, always look at the camera. If you look dead center of the camera, it's like you're looking someone in their eye when you're talking to them. Mm-hmm. And I said someone because, to be honest, you're only talking to one person. These people that get up in here and say, oh, y'all, everybody can use this. Somebody's going to be like, man, I'm not a tech person. He doesn't know me. I can't use that. You're giving them a way out. So look dead center of the camera lens. When somebody's watching you, you're looking them right in the eye. It's like you're there talking to them. Say the word you. Because if I say, look, you can do this, you're like, wow, maybe I can. He's just a plumber. If he can do it, I can do it. And then the last one is talk to people like they're your best friend. One of my favorite comments that I get so often is, Roger, you taught me how to do this and you didn't make me feel stupid. And it's really funny because I shot a podcast earlier and I had a young man come in that worked with me 20 years ago when he was a third-year apprentice. He'd have been 21 years ago then. And I made him a foreman as a third-year apprentice. Now, an apprentice is a helper. He's not a licensed plumber. He's learning to be one, but he was good with people and he was a go-getter. He was a perfectionist. He wanted to get things done right. And I got to interview him a while ago. And he says, Roger, he said, when I was young, you took time to educate me. You took time to talk to me and you made it personable. You let me know that you care. And he said, there's a lot of other superintendents I work for that they just want to scream at you, yell at you, and all this. He said, but you literally took the time to teach, to communicate, to show me how.
What was that guy's name? First name?
Andrew?
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is we all need to find our Andrew and act like we're talking to Andrew when we're talking to the camera. Is that kind of what I'm hearing you say?
That's a great way to look at it. I literally, when I bring people in to do in the studio here and we're shooting a video, I've got a little Mario up on top of my camera.
Like Super Mario guy?
You bet. It's a little bitty Mario attached to the very top of the lens. And I always tell them, guys, remember, look up there and we're talking to Mario.
Okay.
Say you. And I mean, Michael, when everybody was locked down at home, I'm watching these news people on TV. And of course, that they've got the camera this way. And instead of looking at the lens, they're looking at themselves.
Right.
So imagine the whole time that I'm talking to you, I'm looking over here like this.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's like, and I do this to people in person.
And folks, it's hard, okay? Because it's hard, especially if you have notes, because you're gonna, they're generally not going to be right where the lens is. Like if you're watching, when I read these openings, I'm looking at something that's a couple inches below the lens. But you get to a point where Roger, he does have notes, but they're down on his desk. He trusts himself. He's looking at the camera, right? I mean, you just have to, at a certain point, just trust yourself and go for it, right?
You've got to be able to do that. And me, like I said, I don't always like a full script. About the only time I'll do certain scripting is if I'm doing a sponsored video and they're like, Roger, you have to say this word for word like this, or else we're going to get in trouble. Compliance says you have to. Okay, I'm good with that. I can put it in a teleprompter. I can memorize the notes. It depends on how long it is. But it's like, okay, we can make that work. I want to make sure I give them exactly what they want.
Okay, what about stories? Because sometimes, I don't know if you use stories in your videos as much as in an interview, because we have a lot longer runway here. Do you use stories in your interview? If you do, any tips on like where to use them and how to use them?
You always want to tell stories that are relevant.
Okay.
And how does that story tie to what you're trying to teach or what you're trying to do?
Right.
So when I look at this, number one, I don't think camera, I think conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Speak like you are sitting across from one of your best friends who trusts you. Because if it feels human, it is good marketing. And we all want that human relationship. And especially more so now that AI is coming out, because a lot of people are getting away from that. They're going straight to a script that there's no thought behind it. There's no stories behind it. If I'm telling somebody how to do something and they're like, well, I'm afraid I'm going to break this. It's like, oh my God, let me tell you about the time I broke mine. I was working on a hospital and we're in a hurry, and man, I grabbed my wrench and I'm like, I'm going to hurry up and get this last one done. And then you hear that pop. It's like, oh no, I just broke a $300 toilet. And then they look at you and it's like, but that's okay. I'm going to teach you how it feels and teach you how not to over tighten it. And when you can talk to people like that, when you can tell those stories, it works, because numbers, people don't connect with those. You can tell numbers and you're going to bore people to death. When you go take your kids in at night, do you sit down and tell them, these are the numbers of all the profit and losses that we had today, and boom, 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 they're going to fall asleep quick because they're going to be bored to tears. But you tell them stories because you want it to be something that they can relate to, that they can learn from. And when I tell stories about me making mistakes, people love it because they're like, dude, you're the expert plumber. It's like, what, you think I hadn't broke a whole lot of stuff? It happens.
How long are your videos still in that 8 to 10 minute mark, or are they variable? Like I'm just curious the length, because I'm thinking structurally, like I would imagine you've got it down to a mad science and you probably don't even need to go in with the story, but if it happens organically, you inject them is what I'm guessing, right?
Stories are something that they're straight from the heart.
Yeah.
I would never let AI make up stories for me to tell.
Right.
Because I'd be like, ooh, that doesn't even sound like me.
But how long are you talking for typically on your videos?
8 minutes. I try to go at 8 minute minimum. The reason being, that's where mid-roll ads kick in now, so you can make more money. And guys, at the end of the day, we've all got to make money in order to do what we do. And look, I think YouTube is phenomenal. It used to be 10 minutes. So we'd make 10-minute videos. And I heard a speaker one time say, Your video needs to be as long as it needs to be to tell the point you're trying to tell. No longer.
Are you finding that you are editing them down to 8 minutes, or you actually got them to the point where you don't need to do very much editing? Because some people end up doing retakes and all that kind of fun stuff. Just curious how that works for you.
They call me a one-hit wonder.
Okay.
I don't do retakes. I'm like, here we go.
Has it always been that way?
It really has, because
probably from your radio experience.
It's from the heart.
Yeah.
It is. I'm talking about stuff I know.
Yeah.
If I'm doing a video, sometimes I'll go in and put bullet points in.
Okay.
That way I can just say, okay, first I need to talk about mounting the tank to the bowl. Now I need to talk about mounting the bowl on the floor. Now I need to talk about mounting the seat on the floor and then hooking up the water line. And that may be it. 4 bullet points. Okay, guys, here we go. And I can just start talking. I've probably set 10,000 toilets in 45 years.
Do you have a short little bullet list of things that you're going to address in that 8 minutes, or do you have it all in your brain? I'm just curious.
Most of the time it's in my brain, but I do like the bullet points. That way I don't forget anything.
Yeah.
Remember I told you sometimes ChatGPT will tell me, hey, this video was made by someone else, but they didn't mention this point, this point, this point.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to make sure I mention everything. I've never been more upset than when I've got home at night and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't mention that in this video today. And that breaks my heart, because I'm not going in and reshooting it or anything, but I'm like, okay, next time I've got to remember to do that.
How do you do that? Do you literally tape it up to the camera so you got that bullet list in front of you, or do you have a little monitor, or do you just look at it before you hit record?
I may have a teleprompter in front of me that I can just, press the button.
Okay.
And it'll go from one point to the next. But I'll do that because if there's a particular story
that way you keep your eyes on the camera too, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it. Okay. Short form. So you started as a long form guy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously before that you had a radio show, so you were really long form. You understand how to talk. You made a lot of YouTube videos that were like in that 10 to 12 minute mark.
Yep.
And now you're tightening them down a little bit because you can into that 8 minute mark-ish, so that you can insert the mid-roll. And just so everybody understands, a mid-roll is when an ad is dynamically inserted in the middle of the video and the creator gets paid, whether they want to or not, for all the ads that happen at the beginning and the middle of the video. And I think after the video too. I'm not 100% sure. Do you know if it's after the video as well?
There's both. They can plug them in everywhere.
Yeah. So now let's talk about short video, because you've already mentioned that you're on TikTok and Instagram. I would imagine you're creating YouTube shorts. It's pretty obvious to me you're creating long form content. So what are you doing on the short side of things?
Well, shorts are like emotional snapshots. They don't need to say everything, just something that connects. Think less pitch, more purpose. Now, believe it or not, what I just said there to you, that's a soundbite. And you learn to answer questions in sound bites, because now that gives people great content that could be cut into a short that could say, hey, if you like this, go listen to the whole video. Now, I love starting with the long form content because that lets me think about who I want to make this video for. What is the purpose of this video? How long is it going to be? When is it going to be posted? A lot of people don't even think about that. I've seen plumbers release video at the beginning of summer that's like, hey, if you've got a frozen pipe, here's how you fix it. And it's like, dude, that's a few months off or a few months behind. I don't know which way you're looking. But I always think about what is going on and how to do it. So we will start with the long form. Now, if I am making bullet points for something, I could go through and say, okay, what would be a good soundbite to talk about a frozen pipe? And if it's the beginning of the winter, it's like, hey guys, wintertime's coming. You know pipes are going to freeze. You know water's going to cause damage. Don't let it happen to you. If you don't want it to happen to you, make sure you watch this video to see how to avoid it.
That's literally the entire short form video? That's it?
That would be it.
Wow. Okay. So
it's just mental awareness.
So let me ask you this. You have thousands of videos. So is your team going back through the old videos and pulling little stuff from it, or are they just doing it in production when, like, let's say this week you recorded some videos, 2 videos or whatever, right? Is your team like actively thinking, all right, I'm going to try to grab a couple of shorts out of this thing, or how's that work?
Yeah. My team was at social media marketing world one year. That's ever heard of Opus Clip?
Oh, yep.
But that's the best way to do it, because they
Tell everybody what it is for those that don't know.
Okay, Opus Clip is a software. It's an app that literally can go watch every video you've ever made, and it'll pull shorts out of them and say, here. Do you still have to tweak it and modify it? Yeah. I've had videographers that they just run open clips and Opus Clip, and they post shorts. It's like, dude, that made no sense. Did you go back and listen to it? They're like, yeah. It's like, no, you didn't. But start with the long form. You can pull shorts from it. Opus Clip is a great software. And look, I don't do anything with them other than use them.
Yeah.
But
well, they've been a sponsor of our event too. So
absolutely.
Cool. Yeah.
No, they're phenomenal.
Yeah.
I think that's where I actually first met them. But that's a great thing to do. And if you do bullet point stuff, always think of sound bites. What is a good sound bite that you could put right there? Because the sound bite to me, Michael, is also like a rehook. If you go through and you know, hey, I'm going to go from here and I'm going to go to here and I'm going to go to here and I'm going to go to here. And you think, what is a sound bite that I could put at this point that's going to make people think, ooh, I need to watch this part? Because if you get them to watch that part and then that next sound bite gets them to watch the next part, now your AVD, your average view duration, goes up, and you're getting people to watch a bigger percentage of your video. And to be honest, that's part of the YouTube algorithm that they look at to say, hey, we need to send more people to Roger because people watch over half of his video. And that's a beautiful thing.
Now, when you get to a point where you are the largest or one of the largest, and I'm speaking generically for anyone who's listening, in your niche, in your industry, I would imagine a lot of opportunities come your way and you start rethinking some of your business models, right? Because like in the beginning, you were advertising your, I'm sure your plumbing business had the banner behind you in Texas, and it was at a certain point you realized, okay, this is reaching way beyond Texas. So now what's happened that has allowed you to evolve your business models? Have you had businesses come to you that make some of this stuff and say, hey, we'd like to enter into a partnership with you? Has that kind of stuff happened?
You know, Michael, I love sponsorships. Now, in the beginning, and I've told you this before, I didn't know everything. Matter of fact, I didn't know much. We made videos, and I tell people, you don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment to start. I literally started with my iPhone at the time. I started with iPads. I started with a laptop. And I remember some of my first videos, I'd be sitting in my office and I'd back up away from my laptop because that was the camera I was using. And I'm yelling at it because I'm far enough away. I know that I'm not close enough to just talk to it. And I didn't even know what a call to action was. I didn't know, hey man, I'm just trying to help people fix their plumbing. But what I had done is I had a banner made and stuck on the wall right behind me that had my website, that had my phone number, that had things like that. It had the name of my company because I didn't even say, hey, call Texas Green Plumbing. I just sat there and taught people how to fix their plumbing problems or explain to them what plumbing in their house really consisted of. And we started doing that, and we were doing it 3 times a week from the very beginning. And the neat thing about it is now I try to tell everybody, look, know what the purpose of this video is for. What are you trying to get people to do? And where are you trying to get them to go? Because you are conversing with people and having a great relationship start right there. Because when people sit and listen to you, people take you on a jog. People take you to the weight room with them. People take you on a drive with them. Michael, I was on a ride with you and Nathan Chan on my treadmill. And I listened and learned from y'all. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But video lets people feel like they know me before we ever shake hands. It builds relationships at scale. And in the trades, that kind of trust is everything. And when people come in and watch you do stuff and they're like, oh my gosh, he taught me how to fix this, but I can't do it. Well, guess what? If I'm in their area, they're going to call me. But the neat thing is when I started, I knew nothing about CTAs, call to actions. And this helped my domain authority. And what I mean by that is people would see me and hear me, and they'd hear me talk about Texas Green Plumbing sometimes. or they'd see the banner over my shoulder and they'd go to my domain. Well, I was a $1 million a year company competing against $80 and $90 million a year companies. And I was getting ranked higher than them on Google because our domain authority went through the roof because people started looking us up. And it was amazing.
Awesome. Roger, I know there's going to be people that want to connect with you online. First of all, where do they find the YouTube channel for you? And then if they want to, I know you've got a couple things that you wanted to mention, so feel free to mention whatever you've got going on.
Really, the only thing is if you want to find me, it's rogerwakefield.com. If you want to find me on YouTube, do like I said, just go to YouTube and search plumbing and scroll down till you see the big silver mustache. But the neatest thing that I think that I'm working on is every time I go to conferences, whether it's social media, trades, whatever it is, people ask me, how do I make so much money? And it's through sponsorships. So what I've done is I've taken the way that I got sponsorships myself. And Michael, it blew Owen Video's mind because I took a formula he had. And when I went back to Social Media Marketing World the next year, we were talking and he said, so how's it going? I said, good. I said, I'm working on my first sponsorship. He said, yeah, let me hear about it. Michael, at the time I had 10,000 subscribers and I'm talking to one of the biggest plumbing supply companies in the United States. And I was asking for $720,000 a year. Now we didn't settle on that, but we settled on 400,000. And that was after I had about 40,000 subscribers. And I kept telling them, if it ever hits to 50, the number's going up.
I love that.
But imagine that. I've got 10,000 subscribers and I'm asking for $750,000 a year. I made software to do everything that I'm telling you about. It does research on the influencers. Then it finds companies that would be good to work for them or work with them. It creates a pitch deck. It finds out who at that company to send it to, writes 3 emails for you, and helps you make money. And you can find out about it at sponsorkit.pro. And I love it. It's been really fun.
I got a chance to see it when I was in Texas, having some really nice barbecue with you recently.
Okay, wait. We didn't have barbecue that time.
We had chicken.
Well, you had chicken, but it wasn't barbecued. You had smoked.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Leslie had fried.
Okay.
No, Leslie did like me, the chicken fried steak, but then the owner saw us and brought out fried chicken. Remember that?
That's right. Well, I call it barbecue. I don't know what else it was good. Let's just put it that way.
Oh
it was,
my gosh.
It was really good.
Were amazing.
I don't even know what's the name of the place?
Babe's Chicken House.
Okay. Babe's Chicken House in Antioch, Texas, I believe. You know,
we were in Roanoke.
Oh, Roanoke. Okay.
They're in Roanoke. They're in Garland. They're in Carrollton.
Yeah. I don't even know what the name of the city was because it was like, I obviously didn't know, but it was really good. Well, folks, first of all, Roger, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for really just publicly doing something. You know, there's so many people that come to our conference and so few people who actually put it to work and get great results out of it. And it's just been a joy to see the journey that you've been on and see you at all these other events. And it's just really exciting to see where you're going. And folks, you know, Roger is now no longer in his 50s. Okay. So this is the thing you got to understand. You're not too late, right? What do you want to say to those folks?
I mean, you nailed it. But, you know, first of all, go back and I want to thank you because, and I've told you this before, but Michael, what you put together changes people's lives. And I think that that's where I got the idea that you can learn your way up out of anything. I walked in social media marketing world as a plumber, just a plumber. I'm trying to grow my business and I'm trying to do everything I can to grow it because I realize the marketing companies I'm hiring aren't doing the things the right way. But what you've put together, you introduce people like me, a plumber, to people like Daryl or Pete or Jeremy or somebody to where it's like, I can learn from you. And just walking into your conference and seeing what is possible completely changed my life. So my thanks go out to you. Number one, thank you for having me here, but thank you for what you do. I have been at every social media marketing world since then because I come learn. And I have people on stages and people in the audience say, Roger, you could have taught this session. It's like, I know. And they're like, so why do you come and why do you sit on the front row still? Because if I can learn one thing to make me better, it was worth it. and you keep putting people like that on your stages. So thank you. Thank Phil. Thank the entire social media marketing world team. Jen, I love you. Y'all are amazing. So thank you and all your staff. You put together the greatest event.
Thank you, Roger Wakefield. Everybody check out sponsorkit.pro. And hopefully we'll see you all at Social Media Marketing World.
I'll be there.